I'm Annette of Tastefully Thai Cooking Classes, and today we're going to make Chiang Mai noodle curry or khao soi. And I'm going to tell you about a few of the ingredients we're going to use first. We're going to use some kind of soy sauce. My favorite happens to be a mushroom flavored soy sauce. This one is Healthy Boy brand. We're going to use some fish sauce, and we're going to use some sweet soy sauce as a garnish. That's kind of a thick molassesy, kind of a sweet flavored sauce that we're going to put in the bowl as we serve it. A couple other ingredients we're going to use is some red curry paste, which I have measured out here. We're also going to use some yellow curry powder, and it's kind of an Indian curry powder that's used in this dish. And we're also going to use some palm sugar, and that's going to give it the sweetness. You could substitute some brown sugar if you don't have the palm sugar. And another condiment we're going to use is ground chili in soybean oil, and that looks like that. And it's just going to give some spice and smokiness to the dish, and that also is a garnish that you put on in your bowl at the end. Let's see, I think the other ingredients that we're going to put on as garnishes at the end, I'll tell you about those at the end. So I got my fire lit under my wok, and about these ingredients real quick, my website is tastefullythai.net, and if you want to see some pictures of some of these ingredients, you can look at the ingredients guide on my website and look at the pictures and descriptions about all of these ingredients. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the cream off the top of the can of coconut milk. So some of these cans of coconut milk tell you to shake it well before you use it, but for many of the Thai dishes, you want the cream off the top, so don't shake the can. And the cream will be up here at the top, and then there's some watery, liquidy stuff down here at the bottom. And we're going to take the cream off the top. Now, I do want to say, this dish does not have to be made in a wok. I'm making it in a wok so you can see better what it looks like, but you could make it in a pan. I have actually even made it in the crock pot, and it's cooked all day, and your chicken is really tender and yummy. And so you can even put all these ingredients in a crock pot and cook it that way for a great evening dinner. This soup happens to be one of my very most favorite soups to eat in the wintertime. To me, it's the best substitute for a chili on a cold winter day. Today is actually a cold, cloudy, rainy day, and so I'm excited that we're going to eat this tonight. We're going to cook this coconut milk a little bit, and the coconut milk is going to get thick, and once it does, the oils are going to come out of that coconut milk, and it's going to really smell like really coconutty. And that's what we want. We want to bring those oils out. And so we're going to cook it up a little bit, and when that's ready, I'm going to add the red curry paste and also the yellow curry powder. We got a teaspoon of this and 2 tablespoons of the red curry powder. Now, if you make this and you decide that it's really too spicy for you, this is the ingredient you want to cut down on. So you can use less if you want to. Okay, this coconut milk is getting thick, and give you a little shot of that. It's getting thick, and I can take my spatula and I can make a line through it, and it doesn't close up right away. So it's gotten thick, and sometimes you'll see little trails of oil that have separated out of the coconut cream, and that's kind of what you want to look for. You want it to be thick, and you want to see those little trails of oil running through it. They're very slight, so if you feel like you've been cooking it way too long and you haven't seen them, you probably just are not quite sure what they look like. Okay, this is really thick. I can start to see little trails of oil bubbling up in there, and cooking this in a wok, it's going to go faster than in a saucepan. So if this seems really short compared to a time you've tried it and it took a long time, it might just be the amount of heat, the amount of surface that I have because I'm using a wok. But anyway, I'm going to add the curry paste, the red curry paste, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of the yellow curry powder. I'm going to add that together. Mix that up really well with the coconut milk, the cream. And once that's well mixed up, I'm going to add the chicken. And then we're going to cook the chicken for a little bit and get the chicken almost done. And it'll cook a little bit longer with some more coconut milk in it. So the chicken will finish cooking after we get more liquid in it. All right, that's good and mixed up. I'm going to add about 8 ounces or so, a good big fat chicken breast in there. And I'm going to cook this chicken until it's almost done, until the outside turns white and it's almost done. Okay, so this chicken is just about done. The inside's probably not all the way done, but that's okay. We're going to finish cooking it in more liquid. I'm going to add the rest of that coconut milk. It's nice and rich and thick. And then, this is more of a soup than a regular curry that you eat over rice, and so I'm going to add more liquid yet. And I'm going to add a canful or about 2 cups of water to this. Okay, so I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to let that reheat again. And when it gets good and hot, again, then I'm going to add the palm sugar, and I have a tablespoon of fish sauce in here and a tablespoon of soy sauce. And that's going to give it the saltiness that we need. This here is going to give us some sweetness. Now, if you're putting this in a crock pot, you could take it right now and put it in the crock pot. Go ahead and put your palm sugar and your fish sauce and soy sauce in it and just let it cook for a long time. This is the broth to the soup. When we assemble the soup, we're assembling everything in the bowl. So sometimes when I cook this at home, I'll have a whole lineup. I'll have the noodles first, and then this soup, and then all the condiments that go on top, and everybody just comes through and makes their bowl as they like it. This is about to start boiling here again, so I'm going to go ahead and stick the palm sugar in. Now, I watch the palm sugar on the side of the wok just to make sure it gets melted good. There's no chunks, and that melted right away. So I'm going to go ahead and push that in there. I'm going to add the soy sauce and fish sauce. And then I'm just going to go ahead and let this cook for a while, for 10 to 15 minutes or so, boiling good, and the chicken is going to finish cooking. So when this is done, then I'll show you how to assemble the food for eating. Okay, so my broth is done, and I've got some noodles cooked. I cooked those on the stove separate. And just to show you real quick, the noodles that I used that I boiled are just some kind of egg noodle. It really doesn't matter what shape they are. I happen to choose these, but any kind of egg noodle will do. And then part of the condiments is some kind of a crunchy noodle, and this happens to be the brand that I like, that I use. You could, any kind of other kind of crunchy Chinese noodle or something you could use to top this with, but that just gives you an idea of what I like to use. So I'm going to take this, and we're going to put noodles in the bottom of the bowl first. Let me get my spoon out of there. I'm going to put some noodles in the bottom of the bowl, and then I'm going to take my soup here, and I'm going to put this over top, and I'm just going to cover the noodles. Put some chicken in there and allow the broth to just come up to the top of the noodles. All right, like that. And then I'm going to put condiments on it. Let me show you what I've got here. Some kind of a red onion or shallot goes on there. And this is spring onions or green onions, whatever you call those. And those go on here. This ends up looking really pretty, besides tasting wonderfully. Cilantro also goes on top. I'm going to put a little bit of that on there. I love cilantro. If you don't like some of these condiments, just leave off what you don't like. And then these are the crunchy noodles that go on top, like that. Then usually when we eat, we'll take limes to the table and you can squeeze some lime over top before you eat it. If you like it a little spicier with a little bit of smoky flavor to it, you can add this, which I showed you earlier. There's a picture of that on my website in the ingredient guide. And also, if you like it spicier, this happens to be Thai dried red chilies crushed up, and so you could add that too if you wanted to. Another thing to add would be this sweet soy sauce. That's also listed in the ingredient guide on my website, and it's kind of sweet, has a little bit of a molassesy flavor, and so you could add a little bit of that on top too. Really, really yummy. So this is one of those great winter cold day kind of meals. Really fills you up. I just absolutely love this meal. This is one of my very most favorites. I hope that you can make this at home, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email address is also on my website. And so if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you.